look at you. In yourself, you can't do anything. So why look at you? I mean, you're pretty, you're cute, got a lot going for you, but none of that is going to help you when you're up against something that you don't know how to do, and you don't know if what you are about to do is correct. I watched Carmel choose a car. Now that doesn't seem like a task, right? But 4 months later, we have a car. Well, you're going to almost give birth in that length of time. Well, we've got a car, and it fits her like a glove. It is the prettiest little car, and it looks just like Carmel. And when you sit in it, it just reeks Carmel. I mean, it's amazing. But it took what it took, and finally just pick it. You have to choose. You know, he's telling us that all the time. Choose. And we don't want to choose, because if we choose that, then we say no to all this. Right? But he's only got one thing for you. Let's go choose it. So what if you make the wrong choice?
God can fix it.
Hmm?
God can fix it.
God can fix it. You choose again. You just choose again. Well, today what we're going to be talking about, let's go back over to Matthew 14, because I really want you to see this. I want you to get it inside. Matthew 14 is where Jesus and Peter are doing a supernatural thing together. And we've all gotten that Jesus can't walk on the water either. He's a man who was anointed with the Holy Spirit and with power. When he was growing up, he wasn't out there walking on the lake in practice for walking on the sea. He didn't ever walk on any water at all until that night when his father told him, walk over there and get those boys out of that boat because they're in a mess. And as soon as God told him to do it, then he, of course, could. So you're in Matthew 14 and 22. Immediately, Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on a mountain by himself to pray. Now, he's all prayed up, right? We don't know what Peter's doing. He's out there rowing. They've been out there rowing probably 3 or 4 hours against a stiff wind that won't let them go where they need to go. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary, means against it, contrary. Now it was 3 a.m., so somewhere between 3 a.m. and sunrise. Now it was the 4th watch of the night. Jesus went to them walking on the sea. Where was he going? To them. Who sent him? The Father. Of himself he would have sunk. But the Father told him to go walking on the water to them. He's just not out for a stroll on the sea. That's not his normal. But he prayed. The Father told him, go to them. So he went to them. Isn't that good? Immediately, what happens? And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, now you know that he doesn't do this often. Why? Because the disciples are with him 24/7. And what happens to them? They were troubled, saying, it's a ghost. They didn't say, oh, there he is again. You know, he's taking his stroll out there on the water. He does it all the time. Amazing how he just does that. No, they'd never seen him do that before, but they wouldn't have been troubled. And they cried out for fear. But immediately, these are huge fishermen. These are not little guys. These are, guys that have been up against a lot in their life. But they're crying out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer. Happy up, guys. It is I. Do not be afraid. No matter what's going on in your life or my life, be of good cheer. It's I. I'm here with you. Everything's fine. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. Now, I've heard this preached where, well, Jesus couldn't say it's not me. The way that Peter formed this request was that he said you'd have to deny yourself or you'd have to let me come to you. The question was, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. I don't think it was that at all. They had just fed the thousands. And he needed a command from Jesus. He wanted to get out and walk on the water. He saw Jesus doing it. He wanted to do it too. He'd gotten in on the feeding. He wanted to get on this too. So he said, command me. Command me. Because if you don't command me, I can't get out of the boat and come to you. Now Jesus was going to come to the boat, right? But now Peter, he's gotten excited. What? I fed the 5,000. And now if you command me, like you commanded me to feed them, now if you command me here, I could walk on the water. I mean, Peter was always a little more adventurous than everybody else. Nobody else said, me too. You hear the silence in the boat. It's like, there's Peter again, he's doing this goofy thing. And they'd all fed the 5,000. But here, he says, command me, if it's you, okay, command me to come to you on the water. Very specific. He could have commanded him to come to him not on the water. Could have just had him appear over there. Right? But Peter wanted to walk on the water. It's like people, guys, not so much us, but every once in a while us, they want to do adventurous things. They want to ride on motorcycles. They want to skydive. They want to, jump out of good planes with a parachute. They want to do stuff. And Peter was one of these guys. He's like, command me to come out on the water to you. So Jesus says, come on. I mean, he's a guy too. And he's having fun. He's walking on the water. Because his father commanded him to go to the boat. On the water. Okay? So he says, okay, come. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, can you imagine that? All the guys like, what are you doing? Stay in the boat. I mean, the wind, look at it. I mean, the waves, look. And he's just getting out of the boat. He is a happy camper. He's going to walk on the water with Jesus. Oh, exciting. It says, come. And Peter had come down out of the boat. He walked on the water to go to Jesus. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you? You get out of the boat because he said, come, and you find yourself walking on the water. As if it's solid. I mean, I'm sure you'd start out with a little, and then, little trepidation, oh, is it holding me? And then he's like, okay, he's walking. And then he looks, oh my goodness, look at the wave, look at the wind. Oh my goodness. And then he began to sink. He began to sink. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid. That one ruins us every time. It's not that fear comes, it's that we get afraid. Fear comes. And fear comes all the time, doesn't it? I mean, over the weirdest things. Carmel and I went out to dinner. And she said when I got home, do you want me to walk you to the door? And I'm looking at her. And what help would you be if there was a burglar in my house? I mean, I'd have a much better chance than the two of us. I'm like, looking at her like, that's a weird request. I go into my house all the time. Nobody walks me in. I mean, and I looked at her and I said, I don't think so. But thanks for the offer. I mean, I wasn't even walking on the water. I was just going in my house. But everything can generate fear. Everything and anything can generate fear. Now, you have to take fear. You have to agree that something scary is going on. I just laughed because it didn't. I mean, I've been going home to an empty house for what, since '07. And it's like, and half the time I forget to, like that night, I didn't lock the door. So I just opened the door and walked in. Yeah, so you noticed that, huh? You did notice that. And I don't have a burglar alarm on. Because God is with me, but I know that. I'm not saying that not having a burglar alarm is bad. I'm just saying, for me, that's unnecessary. I'm fine, you know. I would pity the person who confronted me in my house.
I don't want you.
They would have a problem. See, do you walk her to the door?
No, but I wait in the car till she's done.
And I give you that.
Go! Go!
Every time she dropped me, I got to go.
See? This is like, what? God is in me, and you know, I'm in Christ. I have angels guarding up. I have so much proof. I have angels guarding up round about me. I mean, no one's going to come to me.
But I don't do it because I'm fearful. I
No.
do it just because it's habit.
Yes. Well, apparently she wants you to break the habit. Otherwise, she thought they were waving you off.
Sometimes I tell her, don't wait for me, go.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So if you want somebody to walk you to the door, that's no thing either. I'm not saying that any of this is bad. I'm just saying, for me, it's unnecessary, and for Peter, up until that point where he looked away from Jesus, there was no fear. He's trotting across the water going to Jesus. He's happy as a lark, just having a good time. But then fear came, and he believed that you can't walk on the water when the wind is strong. What is that? You can't walk on the water when it's calm. You can't walk on the water. And he was walking on the water. How much proof do you need? Jesus was standing there in the boisterously winded water, and he wasn't having a problem. Right? But when Peter turned and he looked at these waves crashing onto the boat and the wind really blowing, he got how supernatural what he was doing was. Is that apparently a very incorrect sentence, but he noticed that it was supernatural. You know? He noticed. Sometimes we want supernatural stuff. We really do. We want to be healed. We want to be prospered. We want to be successful. We want to have wonderful relationships. We want all these things that are supernatural. In the natural, having a relationship with anybody for any length of time where you stay happy is hard. Unless it's supernaturally done. See, Martina, she's the mom. And she's been serving Jeanette for how many ever years Jeanette is old. Now, Jeanette is returning the favor and trying to serve Martina. And Martina doesn't want any of it. But Martina, the greatest people of all are the ones that serve. That's what Jesus said. That's what Jesus said. So let her serve you. Don't be annoyed by it. She's not saying that you're not safe. She's just saying, I love you, and this is what I do. And then you guys can agree what you want to do with that. But I mean, I could